Three's Company was a commercial success, but it wasn't a good experience, according to Priscilla Barnes. Since this movie ended until now, the truth about its cast members leaving one by one has not been revealed. You may have heard about the infamous dispute between Suzanne Somers and a Three's Company producer that got her fired, but that's just the plot to hide its other dark secrets. In fact, Norman Fell, Joyce DeWitt, Don Knotts, and many other actors all had conflicts with Three's Company that caused them to leave quietly. Watch the video until the end to discover why Three's Company was abandoned by its actors. Suzanne Somers. Suzanne Somers, known for her role as Chrissy Snow in the hit sitcom Three's Company, did not complete the entire run of the show, which aired from 1977 to 1984. Her departure during Season 5 became a significant moment in television history, driven by a contract dispute that unfolded publicly. Somers, a single mother when she first joined the cast, reflected in a 2020 interview with People on the circumstances surrounding her exit. At the heart of the issue was her request for a pay raise commensurate with her co-star John Ritter's earnings. According to Somers, Ritter was reportedly earning $150,000 per episode at the time, a substantial figure reflecting his pivotal role in the series. Seeking parity, Somers advocated for a similar salary, highlighting what she perceived as a disparity in compensation between herself and her male counterpart. The situation was not simply about salary negotiations, but also about the broader issue of gender pay equity in Hollywood. Producer Tom Bergman, in discussions with the Television Academy Foundation, confirmed the $150,000 per episode figure attributed to Ritter. He further disclosed that meeting Somers' request would have necessitated increasing Ritter's salary to $200,000 per episode, a prospect that the producers evidently found challenging. Complicating matters, Somers' approach to resolving the issue reportedly included missing multiple shooting days after her salary request was declined. This absence posed logistical challenges for the production team, as Somers was contractually protected from straightforward dismissal. To navigate this delicate situation, the producers opted for a storyline that facilitated Chrissy Snow's departure from the show. They incorporated narrative arcs where Chrissy had to care for her ill mother, allowing the character to exit the series gradually. Technically, the producers managed the situation by fulfilling the contractual obligations while adapting the storyline to accommodate Somers' absence. End-of-episode segments were crafted where Chrissy interacted with the cast over the phone, maintaining continuity until the character's departure was solidified within the show's universe. To fill the void left by Suzanne Somers, the producers introduced Jenna Lee Harrison as Cindy Snow, Chrissy's cousin. Harrison's character Cindy made her debut in the latter part of Season 5, bringing a fresh, albeit similar energy to the apartment shared by Jack and Janet. Cindy Snow was portrayed as sweet-natured and somewhat naive, reminiscent of Chrissy, but with her own distinct personality traits. Harrison's portrayal added a new dynamic to the comedic interactions, navigating misunderstandings and humorous situations alongside Jack and Janet. Jenna Lee Harrison's tenure as Cindy Snow spanned the remainder of Season 5, during which her character endeared herself to the audience with her charm and comedic timing. Cindy's presence helped maintain the lighthearted atmosphere that Three's Company was known for, ensuring continuity in the sitcom's narrative while exploring new comedic avenues with her character's quirks and relationships with Jack and Janet. Following Jenna Lee Harrison's departure from the show, the role of the third roommate underwent another transformation. Priscilla Barnes was cast as Terry Alden, a nurse who moved into the apartment and became the permanent third roommate alongside Jack and Janet. Terry Alden was introduced to the audience as a pragmatic and no-nonsense character, offering a stark contrast to Cindy Snow's innocence and Chrissy Snow's earlier persona. Priscilla Barnes, who admitted in an interview with Antenna TV that she had never seen an episode of Three's Company prior to being cast, brought a fresh perspective to the series. Her portrayal of Terry Alden added depth to the ensemble cast, contributing a more grounded and realistic element to the comedic dynamics of the show. Terry's profession as a nurse provided new narrative opportunities, often intertwining with the characters' personal lives and adding a layer of practicality to the apartment's daily antics. As Three's Company continued through its later seasons, Priscilla Barnes as Terry Alden became an integral part of the show's fabric, navigating the ups and downs of living with Jack and Janet while maintaining her own distinct personality and storylines. Her character's presence helped sustain the sitcom's popularity and relevance, evolving alongside the changing dynamics of television comedy in the 1980s. Suzanne Somers' career after her departure from Three's Company in the mid-1980s showcased her versatility and enduring appeal across different facets of entertainment and media. Her journey beyond the sitcom not only solidified her status as a household name, but also highlighted her resilience and ability to reinvent herself over the years. Following her departure from Three's Company, Suzanne Somers ventured into various endeavors that expanded her public presence and influence. In the 1990s, she notably became a fitness icon, gaining widespread recognition as the spokesperson for the Thigh Master. Her enthusiastic endorsements of fitness products, including the Thigh Master, resonated with audiences and contributed to her image as a health and wellness advocate. Simultaneously, Somers transitioned back into television with a starring role in the popular TGIF comedy Step by Step, which aired from 1991 to 1998. The series, available for streaming with certain subscriptions, followed the lives of two single parents and their merging families. Somers portrayed Carol Lambert, one of the parents, navigating the comedic challenges and heartwarming moments of blended family life over the show's 7-season run. In addition to her acting roles, Suzanne Somers also ventured into hosting. She hosted several talk shows, including The Suzanne Show on Lifetime and a web series titled Breaking Through. These platforms allowed Somers to engage with audiences on a more personal level, discussing topics ranging from health and wellness to lifestyle and personal growth. Somers' career trajectory also intersected with poignant personal moments. During her time on Breaking Through, she had a significant reunion with her former Three's Company co-star, Joyce DeWitt, after more than 3 decades. This reunion provided an opportunity for reflection and reconciliation, particularly in light of Somers' earlier disputes with the show's producers and cast members. One of the most touching moments of Somers' post-Three's Company career was her reconciliation with John Ritter before his untimely death in 2003. Ritter, who played Jack Tripper, had been a pivotal co-star during Somers' tenure on the sitcom. Their reconciliation underscored the enduring bond forged during their time together at Three's Company, despite the challenges and disagreements that marked their professional relationship. Suzanne Somers' impact transcended television and entertainment. Her passing was met with heartfelt tributes from colleagues and admirers across the industry. Celebrities like Fran Drescher and Khloe Kardashian honored Somers' memory, reflecting on her contributions to television and her enduring legacy as an esteemed icon. Norman Fell. Norman Fell's departure from Three's Company and subsequent involvement in the spin-off The Ropers marked a pivotal moment in the show's history and his career trajectory. As the beloved landlord Stanley Roper, Fell had established himself as a key comedic foil to the antics of Jack Tripper and the sensible Janet Wood in the early seasons of the sitcom. The decision for Norman Fell to leave Three's Company was influenced by an enticing offer from the show's producers to star in a spin-off series centered around his character and his wife, Helen Roper, played by Audra Lindley. This spin-off, titled The Ropers, was based on the British sitcom George and Mildred and focused on the Ropers' new life in a California townhouse complex, where they found themselves living next door to a quirky real estate agent. Initially hesitant, Norman Fell was persuaded to join the Ropers under the assurance that he could return to Three's Company if the spin-off did not succeed beyond its first season. However, the Ropers debuted with promising viewership numbers, but subsequently faced challenges when it was moved to a different time slot. Despite efforts to regain momentum, the spin-off failed to maintain its initial audience, leading to its cancellation just 14 months after its premiere. Complicating matters was the contractual stipulation that prevented Norman Fell from returning to Three's Company once the Ropers met its one-season threshold. This contractual limitation left Fell unable to reprise his role as Stanley Roper on the original series, despite his desire to return after the spin-off's cancellation. The void left by Norman Fell's departure was filled with the introduction of a new character who would become iconic in his own right, Mr. Ralph Furley, played by Don Knotts. Knotts, known for his comedic genius and memorable roles such as Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show, brought a distinct energy to Three's Company as the new landlord. Mr. Furley was portrayed as an eccentric older man with a penchant for flamboyant fashion and a comically unsuccessful charm with the ladies. His quirky mannerisms and comedic timing added a fresh layer of humor to the series, complementing John Ritter's comedic prowess as Jack Tripper. Don Knotts' portrayal of Mr. Furley resonated with audiences, drawing parallels to his beloved character Barney Fife while infusing the role with new quirks and comedic nuances. Mr. Furley's outlandish outfits, characterized by bright colors and bold patterns, became a signature visual element of the character, enhancing the comedic dynamics of his interactions with the tenants of the apartment complex. Throughout his tenure on Three's Company, Don Knotts as Mr. Furley became an integral part of the show's comedic fabric, contributing to its continued success and enduring popularity. His chemistry with the cast, particularly with John Ritter, further solidified the sitcom's status as a cultural phenomenon of the 1970s and 1980s. Joyce DeWitt starring as Janet Wood in Three's Company was undoubtedly the pinnacle of Joyce DeWitt's acting career. Her portrayal of the sensible and supportive roommate to Jack Tripper endeared her to audiences worldwide throughout the show's successful run from 1977 to 1984. However, despite the sitcom's popularity and her integral role, DeWitt's career trajectory post Three's Company did not follow the expected path of continued leading roles and major projects. One of the significant turning points in DeWitt's career was the decision not to include her in the spin-off series Three's a Crowd, which focused on John Ritter's character Jack Tripper, navigating new romantic and comedic adventures. This exclusion came as a surprise and disappointment to DeWitt, who felt blindsided by the news that Ritter was moving forward with the franchise without her involvement. The lack of communication about this decision left her feeling betrayed, particularly since Ritter had been instructed not to disclose details about the spin-off plans. In the aftermath of Three's Company, Joyce DeWitt faced challenges in securing substantial acting roles in television and film. Her subsequent TV work consisted mainly of guest appearances in one-off episodes and roles in TV films, which, while providing steady work, did not offer the same prominence or stability as her tenure on the sitcom. In a candid 2012 episode of Suzanne Somers' talk show, DeWitt shared insights into her experiences and frustrations with Hollywood's industry dynamics. She expressed disillusionment with the moral and ethical standards prevalent in the entertainment industry, which contrasted with her personal values and beliefs. This disillusionment played a significant role in her decision-making regarding her career path post Three's Company. Despite these challenges, Joyce DeWitt did not retreat entirely from acting. She appeared in various small feature films and continued to pursue opportunities on stage, where her passion for acting and performing flourished. In recent years, DeWitt returned to the stage with notable appearances in plays, including a Waffle House-themed production that resonated deeply during the pandemic era, offering connection and uplift through virtual performances. Joyce DeWitt's return to stage acting reflects her enduring love for the craft and her commitment to connecting with audiences in meaningful ways. While her post-Three's Company journey may not have been as prominently featured in mainstream media, DeWitt's dedication to her artistry and her character, Janet Wood, endures. She remains grateful for the enduring legacy of Three's Company and the character that brought her recognition and affection from fans worldwide. In her own words, Joyce DeWitt acknowledges the unexpected impact of Janet Wood on her life and career, stating, "I never imagined that all these years later, people would remember me because they remember her. But I am delighted. If I had to leave a calling card, I would happily leave that character." This sentiment encapsulates DeWitt's appreciation for the enduring affection and recognition she receives for her portrayal, highlighting the lasting impact of Three's Company on her personal and professional journey. There is a secret about Joyce DeWitt that you may not know. The feud between Joyce DeWitt and Suzanne Somers is one of the most notable behind-the-scenes dramas in television history, particularly among fans of the iconic sitcom Three's Company. Their conflict underscores the complexities and tensions that can arise in the competitive environment of Hollywood, especially when issues of fairness and compensation come into play. John Ritter, who played the lovable Jack Tripper, was undeniably the central figure and the producer's favorite on Three's Company. This favoritism became a source of tension among the cast, particularly between DeWitt and Somers. From DeWitt's perspective, she and Somers needed to present a united front to ensure their security and leverage within the show. She believed that by sticking together, they would hold more negotiating power and protect each other from being singled out by the producers. However, the solidarity DeWitt hoped for was challenged when Suzanne Somers decided to demand a salary equal to John Ritter's. At the time, Ritter was earning significantly more than his female co-stars, which Somers found inequitable given their contributions to the show's success. She sought to renegotiate her contract to reflect this parity, demanding a raise to match Ritter's pay. Joyce DeWitt did not support Somers' move for higher pay, fearing the repercussions of such a bold demand. DeWitt, who viewed her role in Three's Company as the pinnacle of her career, was wary of jeopardizing her position. She felt a deep need for financial security and was unwilling to risk her job by joining Somers' fight. DeWitt later explained that she couldn't afford to negotiate for higher pay because she needed the assured income her role provided. The risk of losing her job outweighed the potential benefits of a higher salary. The conflict escalated when Suzanne Somers' demands were not met. Feeling undervalued, Somers began to feign injuries to avoid appearing in episodes, further straining her relationship with her co-stars. This behavior led both DeWitt and Ritter to stop speaking to her, deepening the rift between them. Somers later recounted that the show's crew and producers painted her as someone trying to sabotage the show, which isolated her even further. The tension between DeWitt and Somers highlights the challenges faced by actors, particularly women, in advocating for fair compensation. DeWitt's decision to prioritize job security over higher pay reflects the precarious nature of acting careers where stable income is often uncertain. Somers' push for salary equality, though divisive at the time, was a precursor to the broader discussions about pay equity in Hollywood that continue today. In the years following their time on Three's Company, both actresses have spoken about the feud and its impact. Suzanne Somers has expressed regret over how things unfolded, acknowledging that the producers' tactics of divide and conquer played a significant role in their conflict. She has also mentioned that she and DeWitt eventually reconciled, recognizing the unfortunate circumstances that pitted them against each other. Joyce DeWitt, in her reflections, has shared that the experience was a harsh lesson in the realities of the entertainment industry. The feud and its fallout underscored for her the importance of solidarity and the difficulty of navigating the pressures and politics of Hollywood. Despite the challenges and the emotional toll, DeWitt remains proud of her work on Three's Company and the legacy of her character, Janet Wood. Indeed, Joyce DeWitt's experience on Three's Company was marked by her dedication to her character, Janet Wood, and the challenges she faced both on and off screen. A small-scale stage actress before joining the sitcom, DeWitt found herself thrust into the limelight, navigating the complexities of celebrity fame and the dynamics of a popular television show. Despite her relatively low pay compared to her co-star John Ritter, who played Jack Tripper, DeWitt remained committed to her role as Janet throughout the show's run. The disparity in pay was a reflection of the industry's gender inequalities at the time, but DeWitt's focus was on her performance and the integrity of her character. She took great pride in playing Janet and fought hard to portray her in a way that was true to her vision. The conflict involving Suzanne Somers, who played Chrissy Snow, created significant tension within the cast. Somers' demand for a salary equal to Ritter's led to a highly publicized dispute, ultimately resulting in her departure from the show. This conflict placed DeWitt in a difficult position, as she had to navigate her own feelings about pay equity and her need for job security. Despite the rift, DeWitt remained protective of Janet and committed to the show. DeWitt's portrayal of Janet Wood was characterized by her insistence on maintaining the character's integrity and relatability. She often had to push back against producers and writers to ensure that Janet remained a positive and empowering figure for viewers. DeWitt revealed in interviews that she fought for the right to play Janet in a way that resonated with her own values and those of the audience. One notable instance of DeWitt standing her ground involved a script where Chrissy is repeatedly mistaken for a prostitute. In the original script, Janet was supposed to make a judgmental comment about Chrissy's friend. DeWitt believed the line was too harsh and inconsistent with Janet's character, who had previously shown acceptance and kindness. Ritter, supportive of DeWitt's stance, offered to take the line himself to preserve Janet's character. However, the producers insisted it remains Janet's line. During a rehearsal, when the producer asked DeWitt about her issue with the line, she firmly stated, "Mickey, I'll tell you what the deal is with this line. You can come out with a gun during the 5:30 show and hold it to my head, and I still won't say that line for you. Is that clear enough?" Her unwavering stance led to the line being changed, ensuring Janet's character remained consistent with DeWitt's vision. Joyce DeWitt's commitment to her character and her principles earned her respect and admiration from viewers. Even today, younger fans approach her to express their gratitude for Janet's inspiring portrayal. DeWitt takes pride in knowing that her choices and her advocacy for Janet's integrity made a lasting impact. After Three's Company, DeWitt's career in television was marked by guest appearances and roles in TV films, but she found a renewed passion for the stage. She continued to perform in theater productions, reconnecting with her roots and the art form she loved. In 2022, she appeared in the film Ask Me to Dance, showcasing her enduring talent and versatility. Reflecting on her time as Janet Wood, DeWitt has said, "I loved playing Janet, and I did fight hard to play her the way I wanted to play her." Her dedication to the character and her willingness to stand up for what she believed in has left an indelible mark on the legacy of Three's Company. DeWitt's journey is a testament to the importance of staying true to one's principles and the enduring impact of portraying characters with integrity and authenticity. The reconciliation between Joyce DeWitt and Suzanne Somers is a poignant chapter in the history of Three's Company. It took until 2012 for Somers and DeWitt to finally reconcile, and this momentous event occurred on an episode of Somers' talk show, Breaking Through. The episode provided a platform for the two actresses to candidly discuss their experiences and the fallout from the show. It was an emotional reunion, marked by heartfelt apologies and a mutual desire to set the record straight. During the conversation, Somers and DeWitt were able to tell their sides of the story and offer apologies for any misunderstandings and hurt feelings that had persisted over the years. Somers explained the rationale behind her actions, emphasizing her responsibilities as a single mother and her need to secure a better financial future. She shared how her approach to her career was driven by these personal needs, which were often misunderstood by others. Joyce DeWitt, on her part, expressed her regret for not fully understanding Somers' perspective at the time. She acknowledged that their approaches to their careers were fundamentally different. DeWitt did not have the same financial pressures and business acumen that Somers possessed, which contributed to the rift between them. DeWitt said, "We had very different approaches to our careers. We had very different needs. I did not have a child that I was supporting on my own. I didn't have a business head, so I didn't understand someone who did." This episode also provided an opportunity for the actresses to reminisce about their late co-star, John Ritter, who had passed away in 2003. Both Somers and DeWitt spoke fondly of Ritter, remembering his humor, kindness, and the camaraderie they shared on set. Their mutual love and respect for Ritter added a layer of poignancy to their reconciliation as they bonded over their shared grief and memories of their friend. Don Knotts. Although Don Knotts did not directly leave Three's Company, he made a shocking statement after the show ended. "We all know that he is best known for his roles in The Andy Griffith Show and Three's Company. Despite his significant contributions to both shows, Knotts had a clear preference for one over the other. During a talk at East Tennessee State University, covered by the Bristol Herald-Courier, Knotts shared his thoughts and experiences from his illustrious career, providing fans with a glimpse into his personal preferences and cherished memories. In this engaging session, Knotts revisited several scenes from his past roles, entertained the audience with a bit of sketch comedy, and graciously answered questions about his career. One of the audience members inquired about his feelings towards playing Ralph Furley in Three's Company, a character he popularized from the late 70s into the early 80s. Knotts candidly admitted, "Not as much as I like doing Andy," referring to his role as Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show. He elaborated, "The new show was just too fast for me," indicating that the pace and style of Three's Company did not resonate with him as much as the slower, more deliberate humor of The Andy Griffith Show. Knotts' tenure as Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show was marked by countless memorable moments and a type of comedy that has remained timeless. One scene, in particular, stood out to Knotts as his favorite. He fondly recalled, "It was the scene when Barney was going out the door with a suitcase full of pickles, trying to explain what he was doing." This scene, which was not necessarily intended to be comedic, ended with thunderous laughter, exemplifying the show's unique ability to turn ordinary moments into extraordinary comedy. Knotts continued, "We didn't expect it to be anything, but it became a very funny scene," highlighting the natural, unforced humor that was a hallmark of The Andy Griffith Show. Beyond the screen, Knotts' sense of humor and connection to his characters also played out in his personal life. He once shared a charming anecdote about how he embarrassed his daughter at college by driving to campus in a Mayberry squad car. This story not only underscores Knotts' deep connection to his role as Barney Fife, but also his willingness to embrace the character in his everyday life, much to the delight and occasional chagrin of his family. Knotts' preference for The Andy Griffith Show over Three's Company can be attributed to the distinctive styles and paces of the two shows. The Andy Griffith Show was a slower-paced, character-driven comedy that allowed for more nuanced humor and deeper character development. Barney Fife, with his bumbling yet endearing personality, became an iconic character thanks to Knotts' impeccable comedic timing and unique portrayal. In contrast, Three's Company was a fast-paced, situational comedy that relied heavily on physical humor and misunderstandings. While Knotts excelled in his role as the eccentric landlord Ralph Furley, the rapid-fire style of the show did not align as well with his comedic sensibilities. Despite his preference, Knotts' contributions to Three's Company were significant and beloved by fans. Ralph Furley, with his outrageous outfits, misguided self-confidence, and comedic timing, became a memorable character in television history. Knotts' ability to adapt his comedic talents to fit the different demands of Three's Company showcased his versatility as an actor. Priscilla Barnes. Just like Don Knotts, while Three's Company was a highly successful show with a large and devoted fan base, Barnes' time on the series was reportedly far from positive. In fact, she has described those 3 years as the worst of her life. There are several reasons that may have contributed to Barnes' unhappiness during her tenure on the show. Replacing a beloved character. When Barnes joined Three's Company, she was stepping into the shoes of Suzanne Somers, who had become a fan favorite as the ditzy but lovable Chrissy Snow. The character's popularity was a significant part of the show's charm, and Somers' departure was a major shakeup. Being cast as a replacement for such a beloved character can be a daunting task for any actor. Fans often have strong attachments to the original character, making it difficult for the newcomer to be accepted. Barnes faced the challenge of winning over an audience that was still loyal to Somers, which added pressure and scrutiny to her performance. Challenges on set. Reports suggest that there were tensions and conflicts behind the scenes of Three's Company, which may have contributed to Barnes' negative experience. The atmosphere on set can significantly impact an actor's experience, and working in an environment that is not supportive or harmonious can make the job much more challenging. The departure of Somers itself was fraught with controversy, involving a highly publicized contract dispute. This discord likely cast a shadow over the production, affecting the dynamics among the cast and crew. Barnes has not shied away from expressing her dissatisfaction with her time on Three's Company. She has been quoted as saying that those 3 years were the worst years of her life, indicating that the challenges she faced were deeply impactful. Whether it was due to interpersonal conflicts, the pressures of replacing a beloved character, or other behind-the-scenes issues, Barnes clearly found the environment difficult to navigate. Typecasting. Another factor that may have contributed to Barnes' unhappiness was the issue of typecasting. Actors often fear being pigeonholed into a specific type of role, which can limit their opportunities for other types of roles in the future. Barnes may have felt that her role in Three's Company was defining her career in a way that she was not comfortable with. Playing Terry Alden, a character designed to fill the void left by Chrissy Snow, may have confined Barnes to a certain image that did not align with her broader aspirations as an actress. Despite the difficulties she faced, Barnes' portrayal of Terry Alden did add a new dimension to Three's Company. As a nurse, Terry was more level-headed and sensible compared to her predecessor Chrissy, which brought a different dynamic to the trio's interactions. While her experience on the show may not have been fulfilling personally, her contributions to the series helped sustain its popularity during its later seasons. Following her departure from Three's Company, Barnes continued to work in the entertainment industry, taking on a variety of roles in film and television. She appeared in movies such as License to Kill and TV shows like The Love Boat and Murder, She Wrote. Although her time on Three's Company was challenging, Barnes demonstrated resilience and adaptability, continuing to pursue her passion for acting. Audra Lindley. Audra Lindley, Helen Roper, was integral to the early success of the TV series Three's Company, which aired from 1977 to 1984. The sitcom revolved around the comedic misunderstandings and situations of its characters, with the Ropers serving as the nosy landlords of the apartment building where the main characters lived. Her departure and the subsequent introduction of Mr. Furley, played by Don Knotts, marked a significant shift in the show's dynamics, driven by a combination of contractual issues, creative decisions, and the desire to keep the series fresh and engaging. Contractual issues. Audra Lindley had signed contracts for a limited number of seasons. Their contracts expired after the 3rd season of Three's Company leading to negotiations for their return. Despite the popularity of their characters, the negotiations did not lead to a new agreement. Lindley chose to leave the show, a decision influenced by both contractual terms and opportunities presented to them by the show's producers. The departure of Audra Lindley from Three's Company was not just a simple exit. It was part of a broader plan by the producers to create a spin-off series. The spin-off, titled The Ropers, focused on Stanley and Helen Roper moving to a new neighborhood and interacting with their new neighbors. This new series, which aired from 1979 to 1980, was based on the British show George and Mildred. While it debuted with relatively high ratings, The Ropers struggled after being shuffled to a new time slot, leading to its cancellation after just 14 months. Despite the show's initial success, it failed to capture the same magic as its predecessor, and the producers did not allow Audra Lindley to return to Three's Company due to contractual stipulations. While the departure of Audra Lindley marked a notable shift in Three's Company, it also highlighted the show's resilience and ability to reinvent itself. The successful transition to Mr. Furley as the new landlord ensured that the series continued to thrive, showcasing the importance of dynamic character development in long-running sitcoms. Three's Company remains a beloved classic, remembered for its unique blend of physical comedy, witty dialogue, and memorable characters, including both the Ropers and Mr. Furley. What do you think about the departure of the actors in Three's Company? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.